Hello ladies and gents, I am Diffin, and welcome back to From the Depths Ashes of the Empire Community Edition. So this is an episode which is going to predominantly focus on combat of the new forces from Monk Lizard and Mainfall. The Mainfall designs, mostly those, as well as the Charge Aradons and the Mad Doc. And then also Monk Lizard's massive forces there. I've had a couple of replacements from Monk Lizard for the Akashina and the Headhunter. The Headhunter is actually meant to be a two-part design and not what I thought a repair vehicle for the others, or essentially like a capture for the top pieces. So, the Akashina. Let's load this in. So it no longer crashes my system, and let's see what it's like. So it has simple laser gauntlets and missiles on the shoulders there. Again, looking really rather awesome. I bet it was a hologram which was causing problems. Yep, I wonder if it was that which was causing the crash. Regardless, let's see how it fares against the target we're sending everything else against, which was the Onyx Watch Cannon Tower. Whoa! Interesting. So explosions do a fair amount to the base there, but there is a lot of repair capabilities. That's good call. So aims its fists, aims at the target, and well, destroys it pretty easily. Mainly because it does have EMP missiles there. The simple lasers do a decent amount of damage, particularly because this target doesn't have any laser defenses. That's really quite awesome there. And yes, it's actually against this target, it seems to be the actual missiles, the EMP missiles, doing the main amount of damage. The simple lasers aren't being too shabby in their facts of just stripping off blocks, because they don't, well, they ignore armor stacking essentially. That's doing quite well, breaking through the base. So very nice, and it's already AI dead from the EMP weapons. Awesome! Nice. So, next up we have the Headhunter. This one is now corrected, and it is another one of the vehicle designs. And, well, it has LAM systems, which is good. But it seems to have some very big guns. Oh, it's actually the head. One of the heads of those other ones there. But these cannons look really quite awesome. I expect it will do good things against the cannon tower. So there it's up. Oh wow, big barrage of shots there towards its target, and looks like it might have smoke. That's going to be a bit irritating in combination with some of our other forces, I guess. And it has a good amount of LAM systems, which are protecting against the inbound shots from said cannon tower. It doesn't seem to be doing that much damage to the hull of the actual cannon tower. Interesting. It's really say no ammo storage. Oh, I got it. Weird. Just make sure they're all. It's all connected there, so it does actually get some ammo into the guns. Interesting. Oh, it does have ammo. Yeah, that's good. Oh, it's the base unit which doesn't have ammo. That kind of makes sense. So, good barrage of shots, but actually not as much damage as I would have expected from the amount of barrage. But that seems to be pretty much the case with all of these. Their actual, for the cost, their output is not particularly strong, but they all look awesome. And the LAM systems is very strong, so it will protect them against the majority of shots. It's taking out cram shells very nicely. And together in a combined force, they'll actually have enough LAM systems to take out most APS weapons. So that could be quite interesting. But let's load everything into the campaign. First of all, let's jump over to this group here and load in the missing ones from Mainfall. That's the MLCs added in, and then also a couple of each of the strike fighters as well. Let's get them all paired up, and also all in the same resource group. Next up, want to head over. Gonna need a couple more repair things, so gonna actually duplicate this up. So duplicate the logistics drone there, and then probably spawn in stuff over here. Let's load in Monk Lizard's forces. So here we go. Here is the massive Zidafani force, and it is actually missing one of the Zidafani's. Right, I nowhere near have enough resources for the Combine force, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to start scrapping some of the other designs. I think this Benblade force has some of the older designs, so let's scrap this to begin with. Wow, that force was worth a lot. An absolute lot of resources. So Shield Buster is slightly over volume, that's okay. But, so okay, we'll actually send it up to this, attack this tile up here. Right, and then this slot is being repaired up here. It's quite interesting to see them all being repaired and actually starting to repair each other with the various repair tentacles from the forces there, which is awesome. They're going to take quite a while before they're actually ready to be combat ready, but it's 38 unit force because of all the double components there, so that's going to be quite the battle fleet when it actually gets deployed. Otherwise, I think it's just now waiting for things to actually get ready for combat. Oh, I'm out of resources again already. That did not take long. Again, let's probably just scrap the Annihilator force over here. It's only just been repaired, but there we go. I think the designs of this one didn't fortunately have that much of a showcase in the battles, but it's something I do wish to change for my quest for need to play. So I have a good number of ideas running around in my head regarding the quest for need to play, and I still want to do a community play because the community has been absolutely fantastic. I had so many designs. Unfortunately, I have had a bit too many designs in order to have a really good playthrough and showcase of each of the designs. So I think if the players had a little bit more interaction as to how often or when the designs get changed would be quite good. And to this end, I think each player having a single slot which they can then utilize would be a really nice little feature. So essentially every designer would be able to say, okay, I want this particular one of my designs to be in play, and then if they want to change it out, they can do. But they can only have one in at a time. It's a little bit different, but it does give a little bit more interactivity to the Let's Play. After all, it's a Let's Play, not a me play. Still, in order for that to be balanced out, it will take a lot of effort, because part of the problem will be balancing. I don't want to just say, oh, I only want one design and everyone submit a 1 million cost design. That just, well, for two reasons. One, it won't work, and two, it would just make it boring. So I need to make some limits based on block size and cost for basically everything. And it will be a little bit awkward, but we'll figure it out in a moment. Excellent. The new forces are all repaired. So we'll be able to utilize those in a moment, but I will save the game because of that. And then we'll probably move up to the next battles. I'll probably play this battle with the Twin Guard force facing off against the Steel Empire attack force. It's Bear, Polaris, Rush. Okay, we'll do that now because it shouldn't take that long, and then hopefully by that point the force for Mainfall will have arrived, and also Monk Lizard. Right then, let's get ready for this combat. So how's it doing? We've got all our forces pointing in the wrong direction because I forgot to check their facing. have the Polaris, the Bear, and the Bushcutter. So it shouldn't take too long. We massively outnumber them. Let's see how this goes. However, despite massively outnumbering them, you know, things can always change in these battles. For example, the Polaris could launch, which is a bit worrisome, because that goes towards the nuke, and our lasers are firing at it, which actually detonates it mid-air, launching a terrifying barrage of ejector shells, which miss everything. So, not as dangerous as it seems. Though, it doesn't seem to stop our vehicles from actually crashing into things, and that is actually one of the E50s. That is one of the older designs now since the Benny Blade was defeated. A huge barrage of basically all weapons fire and lots of LAM systems taking everything out, and I suddenly noticed a 2-damage thing. It looks like 2 of our vehicles, one the Lehman Russ and something large, collided, which is not good. Because, yes, we actually managed to lose 2 things which were not even part of the combat. Yes, well done, team! Killing our own forces as per usual. This vehicle's doing nicely, then some quite amazing dancing lasers from the stake there. And yeah, it's just finishing up the last target. So that is, I think that's the Bear being defeated there. And then it looks like the Polaris over in the distance with its lasers shooting down a fair number of the missiles firing at it. However, with the whole rest of the forces firing at it, its days are numbered, and it is now 2 damaged. Just observing it from underneath as well. Neat. Oh, that was quite an interesting little battle. Unfortunately, we lost the Landship and the Lemur's Demolisher, which decided to crash into each other. And that also means we lose a vehicle as well. This vehicle is the top part of Landship. So I'll scrap that. So yeah, unfortunately it was destroyed. Just going to show that even in the smallest battle, you're your own worst enemy. Everything else, though, did fine. I was a little bit worried by the ejector after we shot out the laser shot out of the sky, and then it proceeded to vomit all of its shells towards our forces. Thankfully, though, it missed. So, but that could have actually been quite nasty if it had actually struck. But there's a lot of ifs there. Oh, so still, our force is determined at taking out this group of vehicles. So there's actually 2 Relentless here. Relentless? Relentless? Well, plural of Relentless tanks are. Fine. Well, it won't matter, there won't be too many for too long. I say that, however, they are 2 Relentless. They are quite powerful designs, and they fire a huge barrage of APS weaponry at the poor Hellblade. Is the Benny Blade Hellhammer, I think it is? Yes. And there is also an ejector nuke. I did not notice that, and it launches straight up into the sky. I'm just seeing, are those shells going to come back down? Yes, no, they're coming, arcing around, and then they disappear. Not a threat whatsoever. Thankfully. Unfortunately, for me, this thing, my flak cannon got hit, and yeah, it's an experimental design. It's not designed to be hit, and it was completely detonated internally. I didn't see what hit it. I expect, though, it was just a big either cram or APS shot which defeated it. But the enemy are now dead. Well, again, the nuke was detonated and ejected, but again missed everything. Unfortunately, the flank cannon was not missed. I kind of missed what shot at it, but I expect it was just the APS weapons of the Relentless. It doesn't have much in the way of armor. It is designed purely as a testbed for that flak cannon, and it wasn't really designed to be utilized in actual combat. The U-50s are still going strong. I pointed that out in the actual battle. It's quite cool. But yeah, these are still doing well. And they're still offering a good resistance, even though they are being slowly but surely whittled down. Let's probably just send over these ones as a backup force in case that is needed. Oh, I accidentally went over this line, calling in these dudes. Well, this group will actually be able to help out in that battle, which is good. Right, so this force taking on these guys. Let's see how it goes. Oh no, I've messed up the deployment. No, it's just load it. It's just load the game. I messed up the deployment and broke all the joining because I haven't actually set them up as drones and that, so yeah. Let's try that again. This time it should work. One thing I did forget to spawn in, did I remember to stop it? I think I spawned in the Whirligig Miner, which means that that's going to die. Let's see how all our forces spawn in. Unfortunately, the Combines managed to spawn and break their housing. I think by manoeuvring them around, I actually set the spawn heights incorrectly, and they're being launched into the sky, much like how the Polaris often spawned in, thus breaking itself upon entry. And quite a lot of the Twin Guard designs. And it looks like these are actually the repair balls which are housed inside the Combines, which allow them to repair so quickly. And that has been removed out of several of them, which means their repair capability will be severely hampered in this battle, which, considering the amount of laser fire we're currently receiving, is actually quite significant. The missile barrage also from our forces smash into the array of Wrens as well as some of the simple laser from the rest of our craft, just breaking off blocks here and there and making a couple fall out of the sky already, which is really rather nice. Which does take quite a while to defeat these Wrens because, well, they're pretty erratic and they're actually pretty tough. I think they have a heavy armor citadel, which is, for a drone, makes them incredibly irritating to actually defeat because they don't do much damage with their simple autocannons, but they don't have to take a lot of shots. And just going back to the rest of our forces, it does seem that a fair number of our Combines have been quite heavily damaged. So the ones there are aiming, well, the missile launch one is kind of lying on his back, but the one with the assault rifle is aiming down sights and firing at the target. The tanks, though, are moving in and encircling the enemy vehicles. This means that they will actually start to take a decent amount of damage rather than just being hit by, at long distance, by the Combines, because the Combines essentially have the same weapons as these tanks, but have a lot more of these tanks. The mechs there coming in, and there's a little bit of ramming there, but otherwise not too bad. But aside, it's probably a good opportunity to maybe jump in and help out. But oh wait, just keep on observing how the battle is going first, because that's the whole point of this battle, to observe how Monk Lizard's forces are actually performing in combat. Though I wasn't really expecting them to face against Twin Guard, I was kind of utilising them to face against the Steel Striders, which... no, Steel Empire, isn't it, in Ashes? Yes. But yes, I decided, right, I've got to capture, let's just jump in, capture this one straight away because it's damaged, and then very quickly you can just try and jump up into the next one and clip inside it, and then the AI is an easy couple of shots to capture it as well. Instantly jumping over to attack this drone as well. I have to be very careful of the drones because if you get in front of those autocannons, they will almost instantaneously kill you, due to the fact that it seems that the simple weapons are not affected by the Raw Soldier perks, which I am utilising to basically make myself pretty resilient against all other attacks. The breaking, and this is what I mean by other end. Look how long it's taken me to break through to it, because it's having to go in through the rear, break through the entire engine, and I actually break through the ammo capacities before I even get the AI block. That's how difficult they are to take out. Really rather impressive. And so again, moving over to the last one, oh, and it's actually just slightly too far and already too damaged, so it's just waiting for the timers to run out in very short order. But nice going from this force and its forces. Oh, that battle was messy. Did not go anywhere near as well as I've liked, but I did kind of lose a lot of things to start with that nasty spawn, so there is that problem. But otherwise we didn't lose too much, it's just everything took a huge amount of damage, which is painful. Also, these forces are not really designed to take on drones, which that was a lot of nasty drones there, so Over there, we would see this next battle. Excellent. So let's face off against this force here. Rhino, Sentinel, Fletchers. Okay, could be quite an interesting battle. Particularly because it looks like we're over hilly terrain. Oh yeah, this is hilly terrain. That's going to be a right mess for both our forces, actually. With everything having difficulty spawning, they end up just having all a big lineup. So maybe this will work. We'll see. Yeah, I'm a little bit concerned as everything lines up that they're all going to start shooting each other in the back. Though the reason I wasn't as concerned and kind of let it do that is because the enemy are at a different elevation. All the artillery is going to have to be firing in arcs to hit everything, as can be seen by the cram shells smashing into our backline and blowing up all of those messy internal components and detonating through the thrusters into the rear of the vehicles, as which was seen in some of the testing. And that is a bit of a problem. Unfortunately, I'm not returning fire, and the enemy are firing quite happily. So we have our little drones, the Arx Chargers. A couple of vehicles have moved slightly forwards, but actually it's almost exclusively the Manticore missile launchers with their Lua missiles, which are doing a lot of damage from terms of the tanks. So there are a couple of the tanks, for example, Charadon's tank has that high turret which is allowing it to fire over the hills, but in terms of the rest of the vehicles, they actually aren't aiming. There's a couple there which just fired, but they haven't hit anything as such. It's just those little drones. There's a couple of small vehicles. You can see one's just dashing around in front there. It's got through past all of these really hilly areas that it's about to go into drink. But it's the drones and the missiles. So the missiles are what's doing damage. And there we go. There come the Manticore missiles just coming down from above, doing the damage at the weak points on the Onyx watch hulls. And here we go. A couple of tanks have moved slightly forward and are now firing over the low hill towards the enemy. And as soon as that happens, you see they are detonating and internal detonations throughout the craft, racking through and making them completely disintegrate into confetti. And now we have a group of targets. See a big spray of projectiles from the drones, and again more missiles, lots and lots of missiles, just doing small amounts of damage. But the Onyx Watch can't hit us, but then again we can't hit them except with our airborne missiles and the little drones. These little drones are doing really rather well, considering they're facing off against metal and heavy armor bricks, which are tough for even the strongest of forces due to the large potent crams. But they are eventually defeated after quite a lot of fighting. It's all good. Nicely done. That battle took a really rather long time, because all our vehicles were stuck. Let's get everything repaired up. Good stuff. So they're actually repairing, which is exactly what I want. Let's send the logistics bots up there now. See if we can get them repaired up. Let's send this force against the next Twin Guard. Here we go. So let's do this fight. And that will probably end the episode, because this one's taking quite some time to actually complete. Hopefully this time everything won't jump up into the sky. So I'm actually not going to move anything. So hopefully the default spawning will make them work. No, it doesn't look like it's going to happen. It's going to happen again. It's going to have a massive amount of explosions. It's a bit of a shame. So, the battle is beginning, and it's slow to start, which is bad news, because that means there's a lot of calculations going on. And yes, once again, all of the combines were launched into the sky, much like how the Twin Guard have occurred several times, as the base plate is flown up through the actual mech top part, breaking most of it apart, and that's taken a lot of initial damage. And because of that, we're actually not doing so well. So I'm just observing the battle at long distance, but straight away I'm feeling, right, this isn't going so well. This battle is going to take a really long time with the Twin Guard. The last one was just ridiculous. how can I speed it up? And I think the answer, which annoyingly for a lot of the Twin Guards, is how to speed it up because of their really, really annoying repair capabilities, and also the long timers that they're involved, so like hundreds of seconds in order for things to despawn. The answer is, unfortunately, to capture. So I can't observe the battle that closely because it's taking a really long time already, so I just jump in and start just capturing the vehicles. But it goes really quite nicely, so I just jump straight in the back of this one, and a couple of shots there with the minigun, and it's the base plate is captured immediately, which is good. So I move on to the next target, and then this one, I decide, you know what, let's just glitch up through the top here. So I just jump onto it, jump up, and actually glitch through, and can use the grenade launcher to blow up the weak internal components like the engine, and there, as I pass the AI, as I pass through again. And that means that the top there is captured straight away. So now it's just a simple case of going through the base to try and capture the AI of that as well. And that's all done. So let's go, okay, let's go try and capture the last one. Oh, no, it's already shot out the sky. Fair enough. How about the other target? Oh, and it's already 2 damaged. Fantastic. Right, that was a bit of a messy battle. Got a couple more resources and vehicles though. Got the mare, the phalanx. Again, just to help speed things up. There we go, got a load more resources. Lost a load of the Zidafani craft though. They're potent, but seems to be quite squishy, mainly because I think it's just their damage isn't quite high enough. But I actually think I'll end the episode there. I've been recording for quite some time, but I have a feeling that a large portion of the episode will actually be cut out or just edited down due to the duration of these battles. But I will find out. So thank you very much for watching this episode of From the Ashes of the Empire Community Edition with myself, Anna Diffin. If you did enjoy the episode, please leave a like and or comment below, as it is always great to hear from you lot. Otherwise, that's it for me for now. And I will see you next time, but I will end with this battle now. So I'll just run this now, but I'll see you again soon. Goodbye.